Here we go. Episode 16, Prevelations podcast. We are Sean and Danny from Prevail Strength and Fitness, as well as Prevail
Lean Strength Online.
Lean Strength Online, nutrition coaching, macros, and we do some adventuring, Prevail Adventure Club, and that's going to be today. We're going to go over, gear, and we're going to kind of go over gear adventure, but really Grand Canyon-y.
Okay.
It's January 27th, something like that. And we've got a workshop in studio February 7th at 6 p.m. on Friday where we're going to go over all things adventure and then kind of hammer into like the Grand Canyon with training,
logistics,
shuttles, drives, hotels, parking,
food. If you haven't looked into it yet, it can be pretty confusing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
The first time, yeah.
Because it just looks, you can see it on a map, but then when you get there, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. How do I do all these things?
It's pretty wild.
And rim to rim is a unique logistical problem by itself.
Right.
You know, which is unique to a lot of other kind of like adventuring type trails.
Yeah, because you can either walk across for 24 miles or you can drive to the other side for 4 hours.
Right. And a lot of adventuring is usually an out and back or a loop, you know?
Right.
It's rare that you have to have like a whole different way to get back to where you started.
Yeah.
But let's, so we have that. And, but today we're just going to spend today talking about gear, and that way you can double up. So if we miss anything on Friday, people can refer to this, or if you're watching this and you want to learn more beyond just the gear, then you can come Friday and learn more about the canyon there. That is open to everyone. It's free for students, and it's a $27 drop-in for non-students. But let's get into gear for hiking rim to rim, which will pretty much be like the title, right?
Yes.
And do you think we should start top down or bottom up? I figured that'd be the easiest way to think about everything.
Logistics. Oh, like on
gear.
like what actual gear? Let's do bottom up.
There we go. That makes sense.
Jeez.
Okay. So from the bottom up,
I want to do a small asterisk because Sean and I have both done the Grand Canyon with very minimal knowledge of what gear. So we have gone through many trial and errors.
Yeah.
Like hiked the Grand Canyon with a regular backpack.
Yeah. So we've gone, I guess that we should after a little, we've done right at 10 passes across the canyon.
Yes.
And
3 of those being double passes.
Right. So those are 50-mile days.
And my first pass, I carried champagne in my backpack. So that's how little I knew about the Grand Canyon and what gear to take.
Yeah. So just the gear that we've used ourselves every time, we've probably changed something major about the gear almost every 2 times, pretty much. Because we've made 6 trips to the canyon.
Yes. Basically.
Like if we've gone out there 6 different times, and every time there's been something we've shifted about what we take and what we wear. And time of year that plays into it as well. And then it's just an evolution of like what works, what doesn't, what works, what doesn't.
Yeah.
So we'll come from a preface of like, if we were to go right now, here's the shit we would buy.
Yes.
With an asterisk of, you really don't have to have all this stuff to make it. Because we've made it across with considerably less stuff and nice stuff and optimal stuff.
Right.
So, and we've seen people out there doing it with crazy amount of minimal stuff.
Yes.
Or crazy amount of non-hiking stuff. So, don't think that you have to have this amazing list of things to make it, just to do it. You can do it with very little.
Yeah, but now we just like to adventure a lot for hobbies, so we've like racked up some of our favorite gear. But we don't even have the like fanciest of the fanciest. So
No.
Hopefully this is helpful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first thing, shoes. The canyon is obviously a lot of elevation, a lot of down. It's very rocky. It's very sandy. There is very to little, like just regular. There's no concrete, but there's not a whole lot of like loose, like mountain scree.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a fairly firm-ish footing the entire time. Saying that, we've never done it in hiking boots. We've never seen a need to do it in hiking boots.
No.
So I would just go ahead and get the hiking boot part out. For the most part, because it's just too much for what the environment is, right?
Yeah.
It's just too much. And most of the time you go, it's hot.
Yeah.
So the last thing you want
sweaty
is
feet.
sweaty feet. So we always go in like an all-terrain off-road hiking shoe,
Mm-hmm.
basically. And our favorite is the brand Ultra.
Uh-huh.
We see lots of Ultras when we go out there, and there's pretty much 3 different shoes that we've seen out there. One, the most popular is going to be the Ultra Lone Peak.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be, and even the most current version of it is still it's like a thick padding shoe. It used to be a very minimalist shoe, but
Yeah.
now they're fairly
They're a little more.
cushy. We've seen lots of people go across in those. We prefer, because the last couple times we've gone and made double passes, we like the Ultra
Olympus.
It's basically the same shoe, but way thicker, so it's got more padding to it.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be on your feet for, 16, 18, 20 hours, we prefer to have a little bit thicker shoe.
Yeah.
The Ultra Temp is another good mid-range shoe.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in the same kind of family,
Mm-hmm.
but those 3 are what we like the best.
For sure.
I think the backup to that, one we've seen other people love a lot, is the Topo.
The Topo. Yep.
The Topo, the reason is that both of these shoes have a wide toe box. Both of them have aggressive bottoms and more natural foot shape. The Topo has a little bit, almost a kind of a narrower, stiffer foot, and it's got a little bit of heel-toe elevation. The Ultras are all 0 drop shoes.
Have you done a pass in the Hokas, the trail?
I have
Hokas?
done a pass in the Hokas. I've seen people do that, and the Hokas tear my feet up.
Oh. Mm.
Because the Hokas do not have the same
Like wide.
wide.
Yeah.
We've had very little issues ever with our feet, unless you do something crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gone.
Love the Ultras for sure.
But the main reason the Ultras and the Canyon are so nice and the Topos is because all of the up, down, and your toes hitting your shoe, you do miles and miles and miles of straight downhill, and the last thing you want is anything touching your toes.
Yeah.
Because you will definitely feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then what's inside the shoes?
Socks.
Socks. Okay. Our favorite socks.
Injinini.
Injinini. It's INJINI.
They're toe socks.
They're toe socks. Yeah. And the toe socks are all about, a lot of this has to do with comfort, but most of it has to do with foot care, and a lot has to do with like blister prevention.
Yes.
And what the toe socks do is these toe socks they don't allow sand to build up inside your sock.
In between your toes and
in
like
between
rub
your
together.
toes. Yep.
So it keeps this like
Right.
protective little barrier in between
Yeah.
each toe.
Yeah. Yeah. And they are, they're just a hiking, adventuring, like running sock.
Yeah.
And so they stay nice and firm on your foot. They don't slide around your foot very much at all.
Mm-hmm.
So we really like them. They come in various thicknesses and heights.
Yeah.
And that's all we've ever used.
I love them.
Yeah. And so we've never really had to change. We've changed thicknesses depending on time of year or like the shoe size we're in. But pretty much they've all been the same.
Yeah. We did try like the liner, a really thin
Mhm.
liner with like
Mhm.
a wool sock over it, but it
Mhm.
just felt like too much.
Yeah.
But it was the thinnest in between your toes, if that freaks you out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
On top of that,
on top of that, we have gaiters.
yes.
Okay, so gaiters and Ultras and Topos and some of these adventuring shoes come specifically built with little Velcro pads on them or little metal
Like
hooks.
on the back of them.
On the hooks, or
Yeah.
they have hooks on like the toe box.
Mm-hmm.
And a gaiter is basically like this kind of like tent for your ankles.
Yes.
It's got a little
That's a
bit of
good-
a waistband that goes around the kind of, I guess, the above your ankle, below your calf.
Yeah.
And then it attaches to the shoe, and it basically creates a shield so that all the sand you're in, it doesn't kick the sand up into the top of the shoe and down,
Yeah.
which is why a lot of people wear boots, because they don't want stuff to get in, but boots are too heavy.
Yeah.
So a gaiter will come up around your ankle, and that'll help. You're still going to get sand in your shoes, but it will help considerably
It will
with the
help a lot.
volume of sand in your
Yes.
shoe, and rocks and pebbles and
All sorts
stuff,
of things.
right? And you could not take those, but it just means that when you stop, you just have to really be aware of, like, I got to take my shoes off, empty the sand out, and this
Yes.
takes all of that. That decreases it down quite a bit.
Yep.
Okay. And
So
then
we've got shoes, socks, gaiters.
shoe, socks, gaiters. Okay, so next up,
Would it be trekking poles or pants?
it would be stuff on us.
Okay, pants.
Pants or shorts.
Shorts.
Okay, I'll go.
You go first.
Okay, so I've used the same Lululemon
Uh-huh.
7-inch
linerless.
linerless
I think they're called the shorts.
the shorts. I think that's what they're called.
I can look it
They've
up.
been around forever. I've used them every single time I've ever gone, ever. Every month ever I've ever gone, I've only used these shorts.
He loves them.
The last time we went, we did take a pair. I took a pair of Prana
Yeah, they're called the linerless short.
liner shorts. Yep, those are my favorite. And
You
then
did Prana pants.
Prana pants as a backup because it was going to be freezing.
Yeah.
I've done some training hikes to them and like them. Didn't use them in the canyon yet because it never got that cold. But if we were to do another like
Winter.
winter,
Probably.
maybe I would still probably maybe take them depending.
Yeah.
So
So for reference, we did our last pass in the very end of November, and I wore shorts the whole time. You did
Yeah.
too.
and it was
yeah.
a low of like 22, high
Yep.
of 75, basically in that trip. Okay, and then I don't know, like shorts. I always use just a long compression underwear. Because you just want the least amount of anything rubbing and chafing and be as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much what I've done every time
Mhm.
ever. And then you've
My
done
shorts. I've done pants. Oh no,
tights.
I don't think I've done. Have I done?
I don't think you've done
I don't
pants.
think I have done pants. So I usually do shorts too, and Lululemon are my favorite. Let me see what the actual name of these shorts are. I have a pair of 6-inch Wonder Under, that's what they're called, with the pockets. Those are like tight, so they don't move around. But I love my like split shorts. And they're short. They're pretty short. What are they called? Do you know what they're called?
No.
Psh. Oh, let's see. Fast and Free. High rise shorts, and they're 3 inches, but they have like slits up the side.
Mm-hmm.
Those are probably my most worn.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I do my longer ones that have the pockets on the side, which are also nice because my phone can go right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. This one is so obviously all gear needs to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of this has to do with a ton of personal preference. Really, what you take out there is you don't want to, again, majority of the time, it's warm and or you're moving. It's rare that you really need like lots and lots of layers to stay warm. And
Yeah,
even
no.
the coldest times we've gone, we've never been like, I wish I had pants on right now.
Yeah. And you talked a little bit about like the chafing part. If I know it's going to be like hot the whole time, I'm most likely going to do my longer, tighter shorts because my legs are going to be sweating more.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll
Mhm.
more likely like chafe
Mhm.
with sweat.
Mm-hmm.
But if I know it's going to be a cooler day, I'll wear my shorter shorts. That's just,
But when you say hot or colder, you mean like
I mean like,
over under 100 degrees.
yes,
Hot or colder.
basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll go up from there. Shirts. I've I've just usually just take a just regular
Cotton t-shirt.
50/50 kind of alternative blend, tri-blend t-shirt. Recently I've been doing long sleeve, more of a polyester like
Yeah, we got the
sun shirt.
We got the REI brand sun
The
shirt.
REI sun shirt. I took a long sleeve of that and our colder ones, and I've really enjoyed it, which would be something I would probably reproduce again when we go in the summer. That's been my favorite so far, because that full polyester or kind of a, what else is it's another blend, but it's like a, it's more like the shinier version. It's not like it doesn't have any cotton in it.
No.
Yeah, they have zero
Let
cotton.
me see what it's called.
And the reason I like those so far is that they don't hold the moisture on, so they don't stay heavy with the moisture that like a tri-blend shirt would. But I've done it over and over and over and over again with tri-blend. I've got like 4 or 5 shirts that have like, you can see on the back lower part of my shirts, they're all worn down because of packs.
They're 92% polyester, 8% spandex.
There it is.
Our specific one, the Sahara Shade Hoodie,
Yeah.
REI brand.
Yeah.
This has been my favorite too, because I would do a tank top and then I would take a white long sleeve layer, and then taking that on and off.
Yeah, so
Kinda gets on.
before I would do like a tri-blend shirt, and you would do a tank base. That would be your base. Would
Yes,
be
a
what,
tank.
what kind
I would do like a Lululemon, almost like some sort of like dry fit style feel.
Okay.
Tank top, and then a white Amazon long sleeve button up.
Yep. So that would be the next layer, would be the white button.
Yeah.
So we've both always taken, if it's summer, so if it's May through September, we've always taken a base layer, and then we've taken a white button up long sleeve, kind of like a fishing shirt.
Yeah.
And the reason we always take the white long sleeve is that if you have a base layer on, it's easy to take this white long sleeve on and off and get wet.
Right.
So it's white, it's light, it allows movement.
Forgot about that.
But what it really allows is you can easily take it off, dump it in the water. For, the canyon, you've got like, I don't know, 1/3 of the bottom, you're close to water. And so you can, when you get to like a water refill, if they're open, you can use those too. And the more often you can wet your shirt,
It feels so good.
it feels nice because it cools you down, and it's dry within like 10 minutes later. So it's not like you're walking around forever with a wet shirt on.
Yeah.
But we like those a lot because that ability to take the layer on and off is nice, because when it is colder in the mornings, you can use that dry layer as another like warming layer.
Yeah.
And if I were to go back again, I don't know if I would take both. I don't know. I might take a white long sleeve of this like new blend of the hood.
It was so nice. Yeah.
And then if I take it off, I'm just gonna have nothing on. I'll just take it off and get it wet.
Put it back
and
on.
just not have clothes on or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, because it is my favorite. Like,
Maybe I might need to test
I
that,
know.
because the nice thing about keeping a base layer on is that you don't have any of that like wet sticky shirt on and off your body feel.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get a wet long sleeve shirt back on.
Yeah.
And we both like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Because then you would want to take another layer in case it doesn't dry all the way and you're hiking out when it's cold. But
Yeah, might be some experimenting. Or I would just continue to do the same
tank
that
top
I've
and
always done.
white long sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The white long sleeve works. I think that white long sleeve, that was from REI as well. No.
Mine was from Amazon for sure.
It was
I
an
think yours was
Amazon.
Columbia. So
Yeah,
it might
mine
have
was a
been.
Columbia. And I think I got it from like the outdoor like fishing section of a store.
Yeah.
Because those fishing ones, they have like they're vented on the sides too.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'll go up from there. We've got
Pack.
um
Hat.
well neck gaiter, or
We do that sometimes, I guess.
a neck gaiter is, depending if you're taking a hood or a hat or a big hat or not, a neck gaiter can help as another cooling So we usually will pack one, and we'll use it as like a backup. But it's something you can get wet, you can wrap around your neck. It's also something that you can get wet and kind of use as like a underneath your shirt to above the top of your head when you put your like a regular hat on. It can protect your neck and your ears from getting direct sunlight. And really at the canyon in those May to September months, it's all about keeping your skin out of the sun.
Yeah.
Like that's really
so
what
hot.
you're trying to do is keep your skin out of the sun.
And that could be another thing you could dip in the water too.
Yeah. Yeah. You can use it as cooling towel. And then, so I've used those in the past. I've always at least packed one because they're super light and you can stuff them anywhere. And then the next thing up from that, I always use like a full 360 degree, like boonie style hat.
Sun hat.
Sun hat.
Yeah.
I've always used a sun hat during the summer months. In the regular, I just use like a regular just hat.
Yeah.
Just a regular hat to keep on my face.
I should use mine more. I just hate the way it looks on my face.
The sun hat,
sometimes I'll do like a hat, like just a regular ball cap.
Right. The sun hat again is nice because they're light, they're stuffable, you can get them wet.
Yeah.
And it's all about getting the sun off your face.
And your neck. Yeah.
That's a big one too.
Yeah.
And then after that would be Sunglasses.
I normally don't.
I rarely
You do.
do. Sometimes do. Usually if the hat's the right one and it's big enough, I don't really need them. And then you never really take any kind of hat. Sometimes you do as a backup if it's like direct light.
Yeah, I'll do the floppy or like a hat, like a ball cap.
Yeah. Okay. And then after that, I guess we go to packs.
Poles.
Packs and then down to poles. So packs. We've taken all sorts of stuff. And the thing about packs is you really want to take the pack that's best for that day. I mean, as we're sitting here, we're staring at like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different styles of backpacks in our room.
Mm-hmm.
And they all serve a different purpose. So we've seen the best size of pack for the canyon is like 15 to 20 liters.
Yeah.
As a size. There's no need to go bigger than 20. And even then,
unless you're like camping at the bottom for a night or something.
Yeah. So if we just specifically talk about you're making a single pass.
Give me your slippers.
From south to north. I'm going to be cold. Then you're not going to be doing any camping. And you're not going to be making multiple passes.
Right.
You're going to be out for at least 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
A 15-liter pack is almost perfect size.
Yeah.
Because it's big enough to take what you need,
Mm-hmm.
but it's small enough to keep it light. And the 15-liter, I'll give an asterisk to this. 15 is like plus or minus 3. So if you're looking at like 12 to 18 liters of some sort of pack or backpack.
Yeah. Going smaller than 12 would be really hard.
Going smaller than 12 would be super hard. But there's a lot of different packs out there that are in this range.
Yeah.
So I don't get stuck on like it has to be 15.
Right.
Really what we're trying to iterate is like when it comes to the size, once you get above 20, you're only creating more of a mess for yourself because you're inevitably going to overpack it, which means you're going to put more weight on you than needed.
Yeah.
And it's just more pack than you need to take up more space. It's going to get you hotter. It's going to be, there's just a lot of reasons to get away from getting a pack bigger than that. I think it's nice if you can get into a 20 and you're smart, or if you've done a lot of training with more weight, or you like the ability to have alternatives and variations of things on you, then you can do that. I think this is an Ultimate Direction pack. That's a 25?
Yeah.
25?
Maybe a 30.
And 25 is okay as well, as long as you're not getting weird with like
just like shoving it full.
Yeah. for a single pass. We've taken a 25 for double passes because we needed to take. We had so much. When you're taking double passes, you have so many considerations with layers, with temperature, and then just physical.
How much food do you
calories
need?
you need to take.
But we've also done a double pass with our 12-liter, and it was fine.
Now, when you get into, that's like a size, and then there's different styles. Really what you want to be thinking about is when you're looking at a backpack, you want to avoid like a traditional style hiking backpack to where it's just like 2 thin straps in the front and a big, huge thing on the back with a bunch of pockets on the back.
Oh.
You want to be thinking about a pack that's got more storage or just as much storage on the front or on the waistband as it does on the back
So
side.
it's easily accessible for you to grab snacks or any sunscreen or anything like while you're hiking.
Right. So we've used the Solomon 12 liters, and those are vests. We like those because you can move faster in them, and we're not fast, but you can move. You can easily get into a shuffle, and they're not going to feel funky, and they're not going to flop around and move a bunch. But the reason we really love them is that since it's a vest and it's 100% around you, you rarely have to take that thing off. We may take it off in a double pass. We might take it off 2-3 times, maybe the entire time. Otherwise, everything is so accessible because of the pockets and the netting. All of your, like you can easily get to your headlamp. You can easily get to your calories. You can easily get to your water, your electrolytes, your like your phone's easy to get to, the charger's easy to get to.
Yeah, it's just really convenient.
It's really convenient. The Ultimate Direction packs, we like those a lot. There's a couple packs that we've seen at REI. I think the REI Adventure,
maybe.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Is a nice middle ground. Basically, you would think about like, could I put water bottles or like on the front?
Or any snacks on the front.
So if you want to look at it, if you're looking at it from the front, you're like, would I be able to have pockets on the front to put water or calories or phone?
Yes.
Otherwise, you're getting into a weird
You're always going to have to take your pack off.
Right. And you do not want to do that.
No.
Because it's hard to do that, and then you're going to avoid it, and then there's going to be all sorts of problems downline from there.
Yeah.
So Ultimate Adventure and Solomon are the 2 packs we like to use. There's several other different brands. But that's what you want to think about.
Yeah.
12 to
Pockets
20 liters, pockets on front, and smaller the better.
Yeah.
Okay. Next would be
trekking poles,
I guess. Gloves,
coats,
I guess. Clubs would be the next technically in line. Depending on the month you go, you can use gloves, but you're going to be using them sparingly.
I hate gloves, so
we've taken gloves during our winter passes.
Yes.
But that's like when you get up to the north and you turn around.
We're using them for 3 miles.
Yeah, which is we're using the gloves when it's basically below 32 degrees, and we know we're going to be in that environment for longer than 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah.
If you're starting off in the morning, let's just say that it's middle of May or September, and you're starting off and it's brisk in the morning. It is cold in the morning. It's 38 degrees in the morning. Your hands are going to be cold, but it's such a temporary thing that it's not worth stuffing them into your bag.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to use them again. You're going to use them for your comfort when you get out of the shuttle into the trail, and then you're going to take them off 45 minutes later and never touch them for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So, I would just avoid them. Yeah. But if you're someone who really likes that comfort, just understand you're taking them and you're never going to use them again.
Just at the beginning.
Yeah, just at the beginning. Okay. And then trekking poles.
Trekking poles.
So, for the canyon, I think trekking poles are 100% necessary. And I don't. Oh, well, this. So trekking poles are necessary, and it doesn't matter what they are. I have used a pair from Amazon the Trail Buddy trekking poles for
4 years.
4 years. It's
Maybe
I mean,
5.
it's got to they have to have 2,000 miles on them
Ooh,
in
sorry.
all sorts of environments, and they're doing just fine.
Yeah.
The only problem is that they're heavy.
Yeah.
But
They're not that heavy though.
they're not that heavy when you get into the nice stuff. But once you get into the nice stuff, you're like, oh, geez, these things are heavy.
Yeah.
But I think they're fine because the average person going across the canyon, when you're not thinking about speed,
Yeah, if you're not running it,
the weight isn't going to matter.
no.
You're not going to be like, oh, my goodness, my arms are tired.
Right.
It's just that the lighter ones are so much nicer.
Yeah, they're so much more expensive too.
And they're so much more expensive. I think those Trail Buddies on Amazon are like
They're like $35.
$35
Maybe.
Maybe they're 45 now or something around there.
Yeah, but you can get any color you want.
Lots of colors. They work perfect. And then outside of that, we always get so we always buy trekking poles that are collapsible, adjustable,
Yes.
because you can go and just get like a straight trekking pole that doesn't move, doesn't flex. And if you're 100% that you're always driving,
Oh,
those
right.
are good options. And
So you can
have
throw it
them-
in the back of your car.
and you can buy them perfect to your size.
Yeah.
However, we always buy collapsible because of storage.
Yes.
Because you can throw them in packs, you can throw them in carry-ons, you can put them underneath the seat, you
Yeah.
can put them like behind the seat in the truck. Like they just take up way less space for the
Mhm.
collapsible version, and there's different types of those. But you could technically buy the cheaper solid state ones if you're going to use it for one use and you want a lighter one that's, I guess. But
Yeah.
we always buy a collapsible one. Trail Buddies are great. Danny's always used the Lecky carbon fiber ones. Now, we say that is like she's broken one of them.
I've broken 2 of them.
Halfway broken through the second one. But this is also coming from someone who's done 240 miles in the desert and all the training required for that, and she's a little tough on stuff to begin with, right? But they are half the weight of those Trail Buddies,
They're half the weight and they're 3 times the price.
right? So if you want to spend the money and you want the nice stuff, that's on you. Is it necessary?
No.
It is not necessary. The Trail Buddies, fantastic, off of Amazon. They work perfect.
Yeah.
There's no need to go outside that unless you just like to buy fancy stuff to have fancy stuff.
Yep, for
It's
sure.
not going to change your experience
For sure.
at all. Okay, that's trekking poles, and then is that all the gear? That's everything that we hold or touch,
That's everything.
basically,
Yeah.
right? Can't think
Yeah.
of anything else that we really.
We have a Patagonia puffy coat that we stuff in our bags.
Yeah. I guess layers after that would
Yeah.
be.
We
So
have
the-
a Houdini jacket. It's a Patagonia, very small jacket that's very helpful. I don't know if there's other brands in that style. I'm sure there is.
Yeah, so a light puffy is nice for the transition times of getting
Mhm.
starting and finishing, because you will want something dry to put on when you finish, and it will be because basically you're like starting before sunrise and then ending after sunset, and the temperatures just drop so much in the high desert when
Yeah.
you're outside of the light like that. So a lighter puffy jacket, and this doesn't have to be anything. Again, if you're going during that May to September time, any kind of off-brand puffy jacket will work.
Yes.
It does not need to be anything crazy wild or super tons of down in it. You get into the winter month stuff, and you have to be kind of a little more particular about that,
Yeah.
because it gets, especially when you're making double passes,
It gets cold.
it gets cold, and you want good stuff. The Houdini jacket is basically like a jacket liner,
Yeah.
which
It's,
is
it's kind of like a fancy windbreaker.
yeah, right. That's a good alternative for a mid layer if you're like running out of space or running out of room. But a light puffy jacket is good
Yes.
for almost everything.
Yeah, because the Houdini jacket's kind of pricey, but we've had it for 5 years now, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, they work.
a staple.
They work amazing.
Yeah. Especially if you like to go like randomly like running
Mm-hmm.
or hiking,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Anyways.
it's nice to have
it's nice to have.
the warm layers. But May through September, you're not going to have any of those issues.
No, you
You're
won't
gonna
need
want
any of that.
something. You're gonna want something light that's non-cotton to start with, so that you're not freezing in the shuttle,
Mhm.
and you're gonna want something light that you can put back on when you finish,
Yeah.
because it's gonna be cold as you're waiting for like finding your car or finding the shuttle or walking back to some place, something.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I think that's
Grand Canyon gear.
Canyon gear. So obviously all that stuff, we've used all that stuff in other adventures.
Right. Yes.
You know, like that's pretty much our recipe for any kind of adventure that we're going to take. We're going to take almost the same shorts, always the same shoes, pretty much the same tops, depending if it's a winter or summer. We'll not take the white long sleeve or take something else. And then we pretty much take the same. Now we have a lot of reps with the vests.
Yeah.
And the only reason we won't take the vest is if we're taking like
Camera or something.
drone, batteries, like
If
extra
it's just
stuff.
like a bigger adventure.
Or if we're taking, I don't know, some wild food thing, we'll
Yeah.
take something that's got like a little bit of a frame to it.
Yeah.
But generally, we always take the vest because we're just so used to them now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll take like our Ultimate Adventure bags, and we might even get a smaller Ultimate Adventure bag with better front pockets. I think, by the way, all the gear we're talking about is now like, I mean, I think those Ultimate Direction packs are what?
They're 4 years old.
4 or 5 years old?
Yeah.
And they're all still great.
Yeah. And if you go on their website, they will put on their sales from the last season, which I think that's how we bought all of our bags. So that's helpful too.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's
Shutting
about,
it down.
I think that's about all the gear we have. If you watch this in your local, send us a message if you want to come in and learn about all the other pieces. And then if you did come to the workshop and you're back here, hopefully we've gone over some more details with gear that we didn't go over on Friday night.
Yeah, for sure.
If you need any help with adventure training, we have built training programs for people to get ready for things. We've also done adventure photography for people going on things. Guided tours, we can do those things. Danny's about to take a group of girls to Guatemala to hike a volcano.
So excited.
So all that's in our radar. If you never need any help with anything or need someone to take you along, and if you need someone to take you to the canyon,
We're available.
look us up and we'll take you to the canyon.
Look us up. Look us up.
Okay, there you go.
Episode 16.
Like, comment, subscribe. Go to Instagram. Go to Danny_Prevail. Like and comment on there. Like, comment on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. If you have any questions about this, you want us to dive into something else, adventure related, fitness related,
Send me a
nutrition related,
message.
comment, send us a message, and we will go over it. Bye.
Bye.